Today in the Toyverse, we try our hands at a Marvel Select Fiery Cinnamon Jolly Rancher. I kid, of course, as we're talking about the new Fantastic Four Human Torch figure from Diamond Select Toys. This guy's actually pretty cool. I put my limited, and I do mean limited, photography skills at test. But let's go ahead and dive into the articulation and talk a bit more about it. In terms of the head, it turns side to side like so. Pivots left and right, as you can see. Looks down a good amount. Going up, it does have a problem, so that's unfortunate. In terms of the arms, they go up, they go down, they spin all the way around. Hinge and swivel at the elbow there, and then rotation and hinge at the hand. In terms of the body, let's see here. Goes side to side ever so slightly. It turns, crunches down and back ever so slightly. As you can see, some will complain about this, mark my words, but it's not a deal breaker or anything. No waist articulation because of the translucency. The legs can do the splits. They kick forwards. They go back like so. Single bend at the knee with a hinge and swivel aspect, and then the foot hinges up and down and rocks side to side like so. Looking over at the head, we get a nice, cool, translucent Johnny Storm. The coloring's cool on the translucent plastic. You can tell that there's a head there. There's an alternate head, which we'll talk about more in a bit. But as of course, you can see his little candle flame sticking up on the top there. A lot of nice detail between the oranges and the reds and the yellow. I think they've balanced everything quite well. I mean, once you have him in hand, that'll be your decision. But I dig it. In terms of the chest, we got these nice lines that we see sometimes with Johnny Storm. Of course, we got that Fantastic Four symbol there. We'll talk about that more in a bit too. And then, of course, we got a little bit of splattering of yellow flame effects throughout the figure. I think it helps break it up and look good. So no complaints there. You got that peg hole in the back there. Going down, really not too much to talk about, but I figured I'd show it to you guys so you know what's going on. Looking at the arms, the translucency once again just really pops on this guy. I can't stress that enough. And then, of course, you got a little yellow flame there to help things out. Going over to the other side, the shoulders got some red flames, you got a yellow flame. You got basically the same thing on the other side. Still looking pretty good, no complaints there. And then looking at the back of the arms, I'm really not sure why I filmed this, but I did for you guys, so there it is. You got a back flame there. And then you got the back of the arms. Really nothing too spectacular, but it's effective and it works and it looks cool. So there you go with the back. Then we got the feet, the boots, I guess. Yeah, they're boots. You know, nice candy color red, and then the yellow right there at the top of the boot cut calf area, even though it doesn't have a boot cut. And then, of course, the knees and the thighs. Same thing going on the back with the flames. You can see the flames a lot more. Looking over this, I don't know why I filmed this the way I did, so I do apologize, but you know, it's a full 360 almost look at the figure, so there is that. Real quick size roundup. You got Diamond Select, you got Mezco, NECA, Storm Collectibles. Sorry, I don't have any Marvel Legends. If you want that, go see Talker Art. He'll give you a comparison with stuff like that. Super 7, DC Collectibles, and Mafex. And then for our Diamond Select roundup of our Marvel Select figures, Psylocke, World War Hulk, Carnage, the Disney Store version, Human Torch, The Thing. You gotta have The Thing and the Human Torch together, looking cool. And of course that new Titanium Man, which I picked up with this figure, so things worked out. Now accessories. We're going to spend a minute on accessories because we got a lot to go into. But he's packed with quite a bit. He's actually, you know, you're definitely getting your money's worth with all the stuff that's packed inside here, just so you guys know. Let's go ahead and start with this hand, but you really can't see well. You got some stuff shooting out. You got some flame, fire stuff. I don't know what to call it. Fingertips of doom, if you will. Very nice look going on. And then we got a traditional fireball being ready to be thrown and scorched on Scrolls or whoever else you want it to, or Doctor Doom, whoever else you want it to go on. Even a Dragon Man if you have one of those. But they all look really nice. And then, you know, the hand's a little loose. You got to plug in those pegs, just so you know. Looking at this alternate head, it's a very throwback look to early artwork and even pre-Marvel styling. The head doesn't seem to pop on as nice as I would like it to, but it still looks cool. The Fantastic Four chest plate that I talked about earlier, I discovered is removable. You just pop that off like so. There's a peg right there, and then you can just get a regular flame look going as well. This one doesn't hold in as well as that Fantastic Four one, at least on mine. And then in terms of his missing hands, he does have some fisted hands for punching out bad dudes and dudettes, and then he's got some open hands ready to strike fear into those who mess with him. Now let's talk about this base / flight stand. It's got a few little hiccups, but it's still pretty cool overall. It's a nice add-on. It kind of makes me think back to the Toy Biz era Human Torch figure. You got that peg at the top, and then you have this ball sort of hinge thing going on here. And I'll talk about how that plugs in and whatnot, but definitely looks cool. And then, of course, we have the base here with the hole in there. A lot of nice flames going on. Hollow on the other side, but it still looks really cool. So what you're going to do here is you just plug it in as tight as you can, and with that hinge, it rotates somewhat and then moves around. Pretty cool, nice ingenuity, and I think overall is a pretty neat add-on. Something that they didn't have to include, but they did, so I dig that. So you take that peg, or that ball peg thing, and you just plug it in, that socket if you will, and then he sits on it. Really no issues. The only issue that you're going to find is because it's a static piece, you can't get him into those flying poses that you really want. That also plays a hand with the articulation, but it is a Marvel Select, so going into it, you know that the articulation's a little more limited versus what most modern collectors are going after. But this is a nice display piece, and you can still have tons of fun with it. I want to point this out. I had fun with it. I mean, at least I had fun with it. Maybe I should phrase it like that. Anyways, you got that going on. It hinges like so, and up, up, and away. Overall, if you stood through the end of this thing, I'm gonna say pick it up if you need it to go along with your theme figure, if you're a fan of Marvel Select stuff, and if you just dig cool sculpts and cool fiery cinnamon Jolly Rancher looking figures. He looks so good you just want to lick him and enjoy him, if you will. So those are my thoughts on it. I really got nothing else to add. I hope you enjoyed the review. Like, subscribe, share, all that fun jazz that everybody says nowadays. Head over to Comic Crusaders for more fun, and until we meet again, great googly moogly.